Maybe it's just part of the makeup of Hollyweird. Maybe it's what's required to keep gigs and to maintain them at the highest level. Whatever it is, Hollywood will never stop lying. After all, as Gary Nerdrotic says, they're all, of course, a bunch of adult pretenders. Now, with that in mind, it should come as no surprise whatsoever that a director held in high regard, for some reason, would come out in defense of his latest project, even if he was spouting some misinformation to do so. And of course, this is a really bad look when the mainstream press enters the chat, which they did, of course, opening a gaping hole in the credibility of one James Mangold. Now, we have new dimensions to this story, which we're going to talk about today, courtesy of The Bleeding Fool. So, let's dive in, shall we? Here we go. Now, the headline here, right here, says it all. It says, Indy 5 director attacks Doomcock just as press vindicates him. Oh boy, oh boy. That was really true. It seems that a ton of shade on the regular gets thrown at Overlord DVD for talking about rumors that he reports on his channel, even when there are other outlets out there that are reporting the same things. In fact, they report on those very same rumors and sometimes add some context to them that come along with some facts. So when it comes to his particular track record, well, it's pretty good. He is more often right than wrong, which is usually not the case with rumor coverage. And yet, of course, he still takes a lot of heat. Now, I do a lot of reporting on factual things using a lot of different sources. I try to avoid rumors for, even some things that I know could be true. Anything that I've actually had confirmed to me from people who would know. And honestly, the rumor thing doesn't usually pay off when you do that kind of reporting, as you're constantly attacked the entire time. And even if you're right for the most part, if you get one thing wrong, well, you end up being called out all over again, just for that tiny little sliver of detail that just didn't pan out. Again, even if you're substantially correct, you're gonna get attacked. So when it comes to rumor analysis, I'm content to letting others lead the way there. I'm not gonna do that. But even if I had something confirmed by multiple parties, all it does is allow me to appreciate what Doomcock and others do in this arena. Because when you have some background and some additional information and what they're saying is accurate, well, it comes along with extra enjoyment, let's put it that way. And again, if you have a good track record, better than 50%, well, people tend to listen to you. But let's be unbiased here, because that's important. Would it really surprise anybody if Indy was replaced with Fleabag? No. Disney brands right now have been really stupid, and they have been for quite some time. In fact, since acquiring Lucasfilm and all the other heavily male-leaning IP, they've polluted it with, as Ryan would say, a suspicious amount of women. And that's fine. I mean, they can do with it what they will. So when Doomcock and others report that they have been hearing some plot details here and there, going back all the way, even a year ago in 2021, they kind of were vindicated by the film that was unearthed or leaked from some filming locations with the costuming and everything else. It basically supports the validity of all of the things that Doomcock and Mr. H and Small Screen have been reporting about this film. So you also have some of the leaked titles and the general synopsis that is leaked about the film. that basically confirms the time travel element that will actually feature, I guess, prominently in this particular Indy 5 film. So would it be wild to just acknowledge that with the time travel scenario in place, that Indiana Jones might be blinked out of existence entirely and replaced with this goddaughter, Helena, played by Fleabag Phoebe Waller-Bridge? Now, we're going to enter the meat of this entire conversation and the article that's over here, which is very well written, by the way. Doomcock recently reported that there were some test screenings. Now, I've said my piece on this personally in a few places, including Midnight's Edge and my own channel, and in some other locations as well. And I'll probably do so again tomorrow when I'm over on Bounding Into Comics for their Black Pill stream. See, I think this film has been seen by many people, not in any formal test screening, but actually in kind of like a friends and family showing, and also people within the studios, people involved with other productions, etc., etc. And based on multiple reports in the mainstream media, no one would be surprised by the idea of scrapbooking techniques being employed here, because obviously they need to produce a varied number of plot presentations, plot points, and of course the endings. So usually you shoot in a film like this, several endings if you don't want anything to be spoiled. And I think that even most film neophytes are aware that sometimes these multiple endings are shot for that very reason, to protect the actual end of the film. What's more, I've been in on test screenings myself in the past, well, years ago anyway, and personally, when I've seen some things that I thought would be in the show or television program, they didn't actually end up in there. So the final product doesn't always reflect what a test screening audience is shown, or even a friends and family audience is shown. Even industry insiders confirm this, people like Script Doctor, Paul Chatto, and Chris Gore, and they've all weighed in quite heavily on this particular practice, indicating that it's done all the time. Now, when Doomcock spoke specifically about the screenings of the film with multiple endings, indicating that at least one was containing the takeover of the Indy role by Fleabag herself, Mangold, of course, struck out, like he did before with Matt Kadish and in various other circumstances. And of course, that was very unfortunate timing, because at roughly the same time, or even slightly before, the Daily Mail and The Sun both posted, or as I said, already had posted, stories about the replacement scenario. Very clearly here in the Sun headline that I wish I could pull up on the screen at the moment, it says, Phoebe Waller-Bridge set to replace Harrison Ford as the star of Indiana Jones film. Yikes. Again, you can review this story over on Bleeding Fool. It's pretty well written. And as it is pointed out by, of course, Karina Smith, at Bleeding Fool, that this isn't actually the first time that Doomcock has laid into Lucasfilm or Disney. It's one of many times. It seems to be a regular pastime for Overlord DVD. But at this point, we know for sure he's gotten under their skin. In fact, you can know this just by his likeness being presented, or something similar, in the recent She-Hulk television program for Marvel on Disney+. And of course now you see their chosen one director for Indy 5, coming out against him now. So maybe the old adage is true. You only take fire when you are over the target. So Lucasfilm has some tough sledding ahead, as does all of Disney. I don't really have high expectations for this film, but we're to the part of the video where I ask, what do you think? Do you think that these shots at Doomcock are revealing in any way? I do. Would we expect anything different from any Disney IP at this point? No, they're fairly consistent at making good things bad recently. And are you going to blindly go see this Indiana Jones 5 film, whatever it happens to be called? Anyway, please utilize the comments section down below and let me know what you think on those questions or on anything that I've covered here in this video today. And of course, support independent creators out here on the various platforms, as well, they can only grow and exist because of you, an audience. So, if you like something that somebody does, hit the like button. If you really enjoy what they do, subscribe. And of course, share out the content that you think other people should be seeing, because there's a lot of it. And finally, those comments drive engagement. So whenever you can comment on a video, do, even if it's just to say, good video. And with that, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it is good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.